Hey guys, it's Emma here. I'm coming at you with a new series that I wanted to do, a monthly series, and it's basically just my monthly reads and recommendations. So what I'm going to do is every month, at the end of the month, I'm going to just basically go through everything that I've read and pick which my favourite was and do a video maybe a couple of weeks into the next month just to say what my favourite was and all the things I read. I'm not going to say what my least favourite thing was. I just want this to be a positive video of me recommending books to you. I don't want to be like tearing down books that I didn't like because I just don't see the point in talking about books that I didn't like. But yeah, this is going to be hopefully monthly. I'll try and do my best. So this one will be for June. So basically just a quick like background of my reading and how I read basically is the different things that I read, and I rotate through the months. So I've got my little notebook here. If I keep glancing down, that's why. So basically I get books from book subscription boxes. If you know about any other videos on this channel, I get a box of stories box. Actually I get two of them now. And I have had on and off a few other subscription boxes for books and comics, so check back in the channel and you'll see videos for them. I also have recently, if you've seen any of my haul videos, I've picked up some like books from charity shops and secondhand shops, and also used up gift cards at like Waterston, so I've been bringing in new books as well that I haven't read. I also read my partner Highland G's collection of comics. So we both have comics, but I think I've read all of mine. So I'm going through his every now and again, just reading ones that I haven't read. I'll link his channel below though. If you're into comics, he does loads of videos. That's basically what his channel is. It's about comics, and it's a really good channel, so check that out. As I say, I will link it below. My collection of comics, as I said, basically I have read everything I think that I own now in comics. So I'm going through some of them just to decide if I'm keeping them or getting rid of them. Just to make up more space for more comics and books. So yeah, I read some of mine as well, and I have a subscription through Amazon called Kindle Unlimited. So this is different from, I think I mentioned Kindle first in my last like haul video, so this is something different. And in the UK, I don't know about overseas or anything, but in the UK it's $7.99 a month, and it's basically like having a library card, but you're paying for it, so you can take out books basically and you kind of like rent them onto your Kindle, and you can only have 10 at a time, which means that's why I'm saying it's like a library. You can only have 10 at a time, but you can have them for as long as you want. There is no like return date, so you can have them on your Kindle for years, but you can't take any more unless you put some back basically. I got that say like August last year, so it's almost been a year since I've had it, and I really love it. And I think because we've been in lockdowns on and off, I haven't been to the library, which is a place I used to go to grab books, a lot of books. So this has just been amazing. I've really been using it a lot on my Kindle. It means I've been reading a lot more on my Kindle. So that's another thing that I have been doing. And as I say, books I've bought from Waterston's or wherever, like my collection of Stephen King books and things, I've read them, but I haven't reread them yet since I bought them. And just like birthday and Christmas like gifts of books and comics. That is all the kind of different ways that it's coming in. But each month I'm trying to be methodical about this, so I am trying to like alternate every month like what I'm reading. So trying to every month at least read 2 or 3 books from the Kindle Unlimited, because as I say, I'm paying for that, so I want to get my money's worth. So if I read 2 or 3 books at least from there in a month, and that is, I would say that's me covered, so that's good. Books from subscription boxes, so as I said, I've got box of stories boxes, and I was getting Abominable Book Club boxes as well, and I've just cancelled that subscription, but I was trying to read them before I would get the next box. So I haven't read any of the second-hand books I got from the Abominable book box. So as I say, videos are on the channel, but you get a second-hand book with them as well, and I haven't read any of them, but I've read the main books before the next box came. With a box of stories, that's set up for 3 months, so I have a bit of time to read all the books in there. But yeah, so I'm trying to get them read in the month before the next box, or 3 months for a box of stories before the next box comes. Physical books from secondhand shops, like I said, I try and get some of them in the month as well, just to clear some space for more books. And Highland G's comics, I read them at weekends because I don't take them out this is like the sacred texts. So I don't want to mess them up, getting them bashed in my bag or anything, going back and forth to work. So weekends, sometimes I will just blast through a few of his comics that I haven't read yet and I've been wanting to read for ages. So what I'll do now is I will just use my Goodreads app, which I love the Goodreads app for tracking what I'm reading, and I'll just go through every book that I read. So I'll put a picture, because like a lot of these were either they've been lent to my mum now to read because they're so good, or I've maybe got rid of, or they were on the Kindle. So I will put a picture somewhere of the cover just so you can see the look of the book. So I'll just start at the start of June. So I read Ghoster, and that was a book by Jason Arnott. And on Kindle Unlimited, I read Halloween, the official movie novelization, and that was by John Passarella. And one of my comics I read was Graveyard Shift by Jay Faerber and Fran Bueno. Another comic, The Red Mother, Volume 1, by Jeremy Hahn and Danny Lukert. And this is another one for Kindle Unlimited. It was a Predator, Hunters and Hunted, which was the official movie prequel to the latest Predators movie, and that was by James A. Moore. And then I read the novelization of The Predator on Kindle as well, which was by Christopher Golden. As I say, that was for the latest movie, remake, reboot, whatever you want to call it. And then I read a comic, Baby Teeth, Year 1, Volume 1, by Donny Cates and Gary Brown. And I read one of my secondhand book hauls, it was Headhunter by Michael Slide. And then the comic Angel Season 11, it's from like the Angel and Buffy shows, and that was by Karina Sarah Becco, and Joss Whedon has a hand in them as well. And then I also read the comic Buffy the Vampire Slayer Season 11, which is Joss Whedon and Christos Gage, and there's quite a few people in these Buffy books, so I won't read everyone that was involved. Another comic was Grim Leaper by Curtis J. Weeb and Lucio Santos. And then one of my book subscription box books, Ember and Ash by Pamela Freeman. Another comic, The Infinite Loop by Pierrick Collinet and Elsa Charretier. Probably butchering these names, apologise. Another comic, Pharaon by Victor Kalvachev and Patrick Bigata, I think. Another comic, Backtrack Volume 1 and Backtrack Volume 2 by Brian Jones and a few other people, depending on which volume you're reading. And another book, which is Listy Story by Stephen King. And The House of 100 Whispers is another book by Graham Masterton. That was actually the book I got in my Abominable Book Club box for June. So the Listy Story, it kind of was started at the end of June and finished at the start of July, so I didn't know really where to put it, if it should be in my June or July, so I might mention it again in my July one at the start, I'm not sure. But yeah, Listy Story by Stephen King, that was the last book that I read coming out of June. So without further ado, the book that I liked the most, my favourite book or comic out of all of the things I read in June, was The House of 100 Whispers by Graham Masterton. As I said, that was my Abominable Book Club subscription box pick for June, which is actually the month I decided to cancel it, which was the first book that I've actually really loved from Abominable Book Box. It was a bit of a, oh no, I really liked that book, but I've cancelled the subscription. I'm going to pick it up again in October though, so I'm looking forward to, I'm hoping they go all out in October, so I'm looking forward to that. It's just for the price for me wasn't working out very well for what I was getting. But yeah, so House of 100 Whispers is definitely my recommendation for June. So just a quick plot summary, basically, without giving away too many spoilers, because I want you to read this. Basically, it is a book set in England. I can't exactly remember exactly where, but it basically follows the story of this family who has inherited this house from their elderly father who died under mysterious circumstances. So they have to all go to this house, all the members of the family have to go to this house to basically hear about, the will and who gets the house. And from that trip, so there's there's a husband and wife with a young son. There's the daughter of so the son is the the husband is the old guy's son, then his sister, who's also with her wife or girlfriend, and also the other son who is with his wife, and they don't have any kids. But basically, while they're in this house, the little boy, he disappears, and they can't find him anywhere, and they have to, start up a search team, looking inside the house, looking outside the house, and then it starts getting a bit more supernatural and twisted, and slightly into the horror elements. So yeah, I won't go into any more than that, but I just really loved reading it. I got through it in like a couple of days. I just couldn't put it down. I think it's about 400 pages, but it didn't feel long, so it was there. I didn't feel like there was a lot of filler in it. I feel like it was just getting the story going, keep going. I didn't feel like there was any bits that I was getting bored in, which does happen with some books, especially if they're long. So I really enjoyed that. I've basically been looking for quite a while now for like a really scary horror book or comic, because I just feel like if I'm watching a movie, I can get really scared and I can see everything on the screen and it can freak me out. But when I'm reading a book, I don't really get that same feeling. So I have been looking for quite a while for a book that scares me. I wouldn't say this one really scared me, but there were moments when I was reading it, and this hardly ever happens to me reading a book. So this is why I want to mention it, because it was a rare occurrence. Is when I was reading this book, there were one or two moments where I read a part of the book, something happened to a character, and I actually physically jumped. As I said, like never happens when I'm reading a book, but I actually physically had a reaction to reading that little sentence. So that was quite impressive. I was chuffed with that I actually had a physical reaction to the book. But yeah, I just feel like the characters were quite fleshed out as well. Like they were just realistic. Like the brother and his wife that don't have any kids. Like the brother is a bit of an arsehole. He's a bit of a dick, and like the two girls that are in a relationship. Like the girlfriend is a bit of a bitch as well, and it just felt like a real family. Like, not everyone is lovely and not everyone's an asshole. There was just the characters felt quite fleshed out to me, and I just really enjoyed it. I think that is all I've got written down here to say, but yeah, so that is my recommendation for June, The House of 100 Whispers by Graham Masterton. That is it for this one, guys, though, so leave me any comments down below, give it a like, share with your friends, let me know what your favourite read has been recently, and I will catch you next time, guys. Bye!